Welcome to the Voiceover Round Table. I'm Em O'Neill.
And I'm Mike Tobin. Every week, we get together to talk about all things voiceover with a special focus on community.
Bringing you in-depth interviews, roundtable discussions, special performance events, and industry-leading guests.
Let's get started. This is the Voiceover Roundtable.
Welcome, everybody. And again, we want to say a special thank you to all of you who are sharing about the events on your socials and helping us grow. This has been phenomenal. I'm looking around the audience already, and I'm seeing faces I haven't seen in this room so far, which is super, super awesome. So thank you for being here. And please welcome my cohort, my partner in crime, my amazing, unbelievably organized, even with a concussion, co-host, Mike Tobin.
It has the dumb.
Oh dear.
I bonk my head. I'm good, folks. I'm good. A little bit of a shopping accident.
He had a run-in with a Subaru.
With the tailgate of the car. Me versus tailgate. Tailgate wins. Oh, boy.
Oh, dear.
I'm all good, though, folks. Lovely to hear your voice, Emma, and welcome, Deb. We'll get to you in a second, but Emma, are you like in the back of an Uber Black broadcasting remotely on the way to the airport or something? Almost, eh?
Yeah. Almost.
It's awards season, folks, and the jet-setting Emma O'Neill, award-winning, award-nominated voice actor, is on the move again, I believe. Out to Sovas, eh?
I am, and I'm not impressed by the weather because I was like so excited to be going to LA in the sun, and it's like high of like 14 degrees. I'm like, really? Oh. So it's like it's
all
like
business.
Cold autumn.
It's all business. It's all business.
Last time.
Oh man.
Bring a coach.
Well, good luck.
Okay.
Have a safe trip, and wishing you and all the nominees down at the Sovas Awards the best. It's always a fun time and exciting time for voice actors. Milestone in many careers, and definitely some nice recognition for those who take away the prizes. Red carpet stuff, eh? You got a new dress?
I do. It's very, very flowy and girly. Which is kind of not me, but it's still fun.
Nice.
We're gonna work.
Looking forward to seeing the pictures.
It's gonna be like flowy, girly with like covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
So the juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't get a haircut for this show, but Emma's like, it's audio only.
I did wash my hair. It's still wet. That's still wet.
Yes.
Just for the show.
Just
for the show.
I'll hand it over to you, my dear Emma. Go for it.
I want to introduce our very, very special guest this evening, Debra Sperling. Like, this woman blows my mind. She is an internationally renowned voice artist and coach. She has voiced hundreds of national television campaigns for top brands like Charmin, Cascade, Pampers, Maybelline, Folgers, and many, many more. She is a huge player in the promo world, which as a woman in voiceover, that is a feat in itself. She has been the voice of the Oxygen Network, as well as the voice of WeTV with ongoing promo gigs for NBC, PBS, USA, HBO, and Discovery. And as a coach, I have witnessed this. Debra's internationally acclaimed authenticity in voiceover class has been praised as an absolute must for the VO novice and the seasoned pro. She gives her heart and soul when she teaches. But tonight, we are focusing on Debra, her career, and voiceover. Debra, hello and welcome.
Hi, Emma. Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for making time for us.
Oh, this is my pleasure. How are you guys, aside from the concussion and getting ready to leave town in really bad weather?
It's just a mild concussion. Yes, we must make holiday plans. I'm sure everyone else has holiday plans and looking forward to it. This is our last show of the season. Amazing to say that. We've been having so much fun since we restarted the Voiceover Roundtable, and it's awesome to have you, Debra, as our last guest of 2022. It's gonna be cool. Having fun? This is the part where I'm going to try and make you blush.
Good luck.
So, Emma kind of alluded to this in your intro, and I would say, and I guess maybe I'm speaking for myself here, but I think probably for a lot of voice actors that, you have a career that, like the expression of ticking so many boxes, commercial, promo, coaching, all at, I would say, an elite level, at a very, very high level in our industry. But most importantly, making a living of it, loving it, and doing it for a few years. I don't want to, I don't want to throw numbers out there, but doing it for having longevity.
Numbers, it's okay.
No. Well, having you can do it if you want. I what should I say? Like decades long career? Can you?
Yeah,
27 years.
Okay, 27 years. We put it out there.
Awesome.
You did.
It's
yeah,
awesome.
it is. It's pretty
years
wicked.
In any industry, wow.
Yeah. But it's definitely for me, it's like, wow, that's like a lot of bucket list things, to be able to have that kind of longevity and to work actively and regularly in, fields that a lot of voice actors want to achieve in, being commercial and promo in particular, but promo, wow, elite. I want you to take us back to how this amazing career got started. Like, when did you know voiceover was it? What was the beginning for Debra Sperling?
Okay. Wow. Blushing a little, but well, I trained since I was young as an actor. So I grew up in New York, and I went to the High School of Performing Arts here in Manhattan, Fame School. Those people that live in the New York area, it's now LaGuardia High School. So I went there for high school, and then I graduated and I went to the University of Buffalo and I got a degree in theater. And then at the same time, Stephen McKinley Henderson, who some of you know from Broadway, he was my acting teacher. And I also then began TAing his classes. And for those of you that know Andy Roth, the funny thing is that Andy Roth and I were in the same class, and we both were TAing Steve's classes, which is very funny. Andy's
no way, that's so fun.
Huge, yeah. So Andy and I have been friends for a very, very long time.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, and then I went on and I went to Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, and I got a master's degree in acting, focusing in Shakespeare. I spent a semester, 6 months studying at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London. When I came back to the States, my agent had said to me, your voice is really interesting. You should think about going out on a voiceover audition. And the crazy thing is that back then, nobody even knew what a voiceover was. I don't want to age myself because I can still book things sometimes for a 27-year-old when I bring my voice up.
Absolutely.
Even but back then, I would tell people what I do for a living. I'm a voiceover artist. They would say, "What is that?" I do voiceovers. What is that? What is that?
You're a what?
So I really didn't even know what that was. And he was like, you're going to slate your name. I literally said, what's a slate? That's, and
we've all been there.
Right. And then you're going to read the script. And it turns out that I wound up booking the second thing that I ever auditioned for. And then all of a sudden, and I say this all the time, I think that had, when I really think about it, a lot to do with how my career went from there, because something in me clicked with a sense of confidence. And I talk about this all the time. It's so important, in not a cocky way, but that we all believe that what we have as individuals is so precious and wonderful. And every single person has that in them, that gold that is uniquely themselves. And I think that when I started out, I naturally felt that. And I'm sure booking the second thing I auditioned for had a lot to do with it. And also it was a much smaller pool. Back then, anyone that was in commercials really lived in New York, and everyone doing animation lived in LA, and promos were kind of split depending upon where the networks were located. Because I would go into the networks to do the promos. This is before we all had our home studios. So, and I just absolutely fell madly in love with this craft and the expression of the craft and being able to do so many things in one day, going in just ups and downs and different places. And you said when you were introducing me, Mike, when you had said all the different things, the variety of everything that I do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I never, ever let anybody put me in a box.
Yeah.
I never had women don't do movie trailers. Well, I do movie trailers. Women don't do promos. Yeah, I do promos. Once you turn 35 to 40, you better think about retiring because you'll never work after that. Yeah, you don't know me. And once again, not coming from a cocky place, but coming from the place of every experience we experience in our life only gives us more things that we can reveal when we're on the microphone. And the more we experience in the world, the more we actually have to give. So I think not putting myself in a box and falling in love with this craft, and also my insane gratitude. From the very beginning, nothing was lost on me. I am the luckiest person in the world to do what I love to do and to have the career that I have and to make the living that I make and to get to give back is and teach, which is such a huge passion of mine as well, and be able to share this with other people. It's just, I live a dream. I live an absolute dream, and I live in gratitude every day.
See, it's a dream many of us want. I love what you're saying about the variety, because that's one of the things that I know I love most about voiceover is, there's no 2 days that are the same. There's no, 1 week is focused on one area. Maybe the next week is focused on another area. Things are always moving, always changing. Styles are changing. You're coaching, you're learning, you're growing.
Absolutely.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's amazing.
But to be fair, I want to be fair here. You trained hard. And so, yes, you landed one of the first jobs that you auditioned for in voiceover, but you also had a lot of acting training and you worked hard for it. So, I think you deserved it.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I think if you still hit record, or when they hit record, and I wasn't hitting record myself back then.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if someone hits record and it's just go and here's your script, and you're in a place of, oh, I have to do this right. How do I get these words right? And I really want this job. And am I stressing the right words when I talk? And if all of that is somewhere in you and what you're bringing to the mic, I guarantee you that is all anyone is going to hear on the other side.
For sure.
And when you free yourself of all of that and you just enjoy what it is that you're doing and feel free to bring yourself there, whatever all your cuts and bruises and all those things that actually make you beautiful, when you bring that to the mic, that's the thing that people stop in their tracks when they actually hear you. Not how well you can underline a script and act it out. Yeah. That's my opinion.
I don't think there's been now is the time for the authentic voice. That's what almost every audition I see says. Real person, no announcer, no push, no salesy, real authentic. Bring your real self. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and to what Mike was saying, you've had so much coaching and so much training as your base, but imposter syndrome in the world of acting is very, very strong. And it was, as you were speaking, it reminded me of that song of oh God, I need this job. Please,
Right.
God, I need this
Yeah.
job. Right.
Yeah.
And it's that's all that people hear is the desperation in your voice. Because
Yeah.
the performance isn't there because you're not connected. You're only connected to your desperation. And
Absolutely.
that's something that you're bringing to the mic in your performance and in the way that you teach and the way that you're communicating with everybody around you.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that it all translates from real life and also into real life.
Yep.
Because how many of us walk around in the world and feel like we're not enough? Just walking out there and being who we are and feel I'm not enough. I say this in class all the time. How do I feel, Debra Sperling, picking up a script and not pushing anything, but just allowing me to be there? Who am I to feel and think that that's worth $200, that that's worth $2,000, that that's worth $200,000, that that's worth $2 million?
Yep.
Let me tell you, that's the only thing that's worth $2 million is that gift when you give the gold of you. Because, I mean, my philosophy, and it is a little bit unconventional, but my belief is that it is none of your business how the words are coming out of your mouth in any of this. That
Very
the
true.
second,
I love that.
yeah, the second you start focusing on how the words are coming out of your mouth,
Yeah.
I just stop listening to you. Because if I'm talking to you right now, answering your question, Emma. I know there are people here listening. All of this is so important to me. It's such a strong message. That's the only thing I'm thinking about right now. And if I started to think about how these words were coming out of my mouth, you would all just sign off and stop listening to me because I would sound like I was full of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. We are going to open the floor up.
Wonderful.
Mike, right now you are admin. If you want to make me admin, that would be awesome too.
You're
Because
officially
I am
boss lady. I'm gonna make Debra boss lady too.
Oh, I don't know how to be a boss. I mean, I know how to be a boss lady. I don't know how to be a boss lady on this venue.
Sorry, maybe
so
that's
I'm gonna,
not a nice word. I always gotta be careful. I'm trying to.
I don't have a problem with boss lady.
Oh, I don't know, but I try and be careful with language these days. I think it's one of the things we need to be more aware of, like, especially as a, sorry, I'm going to say this like this, but white guy of a certain age. It's like,
oh, yeah.
Watch the way you say things. And so, but I'm glad that was okay. That flew.
Before you open it up, I just being that you're a white guy of a certain age, I just want to say what a wonderful, incredible time it is right now in our industry for diversity, for people of color,
Yes.
LGBTQIA, all of it. It's just, it is absolutely incredible. And I think I told either Emma or Mike or both of you this when we were talking,
Yep.
that for 20 some odd years, all of my friends of color would look at my career and just be like, oh man, I if I just had the opportunities or I had and I can't tell you how many things I got put on hold for. And then it goes to a woman of color
Yes.
okay, I didn't get the job,
Good.
but I'm just like, yes, finally. And it's just great. It actually just makes me so happy just for the world in general, because we need authenticity, we need diversity, we need all of it. It fills my heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
It makes me think of one thing. Before we jump to questions, I was just going to say on that, Deborah, like, everybody listening, know that you still have a part to play in that too, because unfortunately there still are castings that will come to you that may be calling for a person of color or an indigenous person or whatever that is. And if that's not you, you need to say something. And it's okay to say something. Say, hey, this is not right for me. So everybody has a role to play. It's not just from the top down, it's from the bottom up as well, from talent. So I want to jump on questions from the room. It seems to me somebody was there before and now they're not there. Is that correct, Emma? Like I saw someone earlier, but they're not there. So who's first?
Kelly White is first.
Let's invite Kelly on the stage.
Awesome.
Did my invite on stage work? It did. Hey, Kelly White.
Fantastic.
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly, your mute button is where your hand raise was. If it doesn't work, you're going to pull a Steve Snyder and you're going to leave the room and come straight back in. It'll bring you back up on stage. Steve's going to be up on stage in just a second. He'll have a good giggle about that.
Oh, he's going to get locked in the matrix. Watch, Kelly. So if you we can't hear you, so you just got to leave the room, and then come right back. Watch by the magic of Clubhouse.
So
there's Kelly. Kelly unmutes, and now we're going to hear Kelly's voice. Kelly,
is it working now?
Yay!
It is.
Yay! Woo-hoo! Okay, great. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever everyone is. It's so nice to meet all of you. So my quick question, I currently do have an agent, and I'm getting more commercial work, but I'm definitely interested in promo. So, what would be the first steps? Should I try some local companies or local events to try to do promo work for, or how exactly do you think I should go in that direction? Should I just let my agent know that I'm interested, or how does that work exactly?
Okay. So I will say right up front, I do not have all the answers, and I never answer anything that I will give you my opinion on this.
Sure.
What I do know is that promos, I'm not 100% sure, but from what I do know, they don't do casting on online platforms. There are even agents in New York and LA, really good agents that don't even really have a promo department. So there are I have a promo agent. Well, I have an agent in New York, I have an agent in LA and Chicago, and I have a promo manager and that does promos and movie trailers. A good thing now, you're signed exclusively with your agent just for commercials or across the board for everything?
Across the board for everything.
Okay. So do they have a promo department? They do. Oh, okay. So can I ask, I may not know the agency, but where are you located? Are you in the States?
Yes, I'm in Richmond, Virginia, but my agency is in New York.
Okay. And can I ask who the agency is?
Sure. CESD.
Oh, great. Yes. So great. So absolutely, if they have whoever their agent is that focuses on promos, reach out to them and tell them it's something that you're really interested in. And when they get those auditions, I don't know why they wouldn't send you some of those auditions. The fact that you're with CESD, you're one step closer than so many people. People ask me all the time, should I make a promo demo? I had spoken to my manager about this, and I asked him like straight up. I was like, do you still listen, in all honesty, to demos that come in? And he was like, absolutely. And I was honestly, I'm like, you're just telling me, I'm not going to like tell anyone. I just want to know for my own whatever, do you actually still listen to demos, or do they all just like wind up not getting listened to and people are wasting money? And he said, no, we absolutely listen to them. And they're always looking for that factor of A, authenticity, B, diversity, that owning your read, bringing you, authentic you across. I'm trying to think. I think you're in a great position to call them and talk to them and ask them what they do in promos. A lot of agencies have special relationships with certain clients. I know my agent works a lot with Nat Geo. We do a bunch of stuff with PBS. It's not that I don't get all sorts of things, but I'll get NBC stuff from my New York agency and I'll get CBS stuff from LA. So agents themselves have different relationships with networks and also different relationships with producers. I would even say to you, if it's something you're really passionate about and you didn't have an agent, I would say search out the agencies that do have really good promo departments. And if it's something you're very passionate about, submit to the promo department. But I think you're in a great position, and I'm sure that, I mean, do they give you a lot of auditions in the commercial world?
Yes, actually, doing pretty well with the commercial work that they're giving me. So,
Great.
I'm kind of want to get a little more.
You're in
Yeah,
the,
I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to get
you,
more under my belt so that they would consider me for other things.
yeah, Kelly, you're in a wonderful position, and just to make a phone call and say, hey, I'm really passionate about this. When auditions come in, please send them to me. You have that they work for you. Your agents work for you. People forget that. Your agents work for you. You do not work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Absolutely,
So
I understand, and I'm so glad to hear
yeah,
about the demos, because I was working on that too. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting my time with that either.
yeah, no, and if you want to write me on my email or whatever, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Anything else that I could do to help?
And there it is.
Sure, that sounds great, Deborah. Thank you so much for your information and your time.
Absolutely, it was great talking to you.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Kelly.
being with us, Kelly. Appreciate you hanging out in the roundtable.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
guys.
figured that was
Yes,
going to be
sir.
one of the questions, Deborah. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
You know, the route to promo is a special climb, I would say, right? To that to that area.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that a lot of producers tend to honestly work with the same people. But
Yeah.
that is also changing. Even when I was the voice of WeTV or the voice of Oxygen, I was the voice of the entire network, which was incredible because of the sheer variety of everything that I got to do in the day. But there's so many more promo jobs out there right now because there's so many networks, and networks aren't branding as much a full network voice as they are genres or shows. So like I'm the voice for PBS for their Sunday night lineup, which has a lot of masterpiece and everything. So they're branding that in a certain way. When I do stuff for the Smithsonian Channel for like a supercar super build or something that's a man show that they want sexy woman on or whatever, then it's a brand for that specific show. So if you have 300 networks, and on those 300 networks, each network has 20, 30, 40 shows. If they're going to brand each show with a different voice, think about all the opportunities that are out there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We brought Tom up on stage.
Fantastic.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us again.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you for bringing Debra in. Debra, this is my first time hearing you, and I'm composed now, but I was in tears earlier when you were speaking about bring yourself there, all your cuts and bruises and everything that makes you you and makes you beautiful.
Yep.
I thank you for those words because they kind of they have a soothing effect about I'm sure the question that a lot of us have asked sometimes when we've stripped away a character voice, when we've stripped away and we're left with just us and the mic. I don't really feel I fight this demon much anymore, but it's still there. That demon of when it's all stripped away, it's me and my mic. Am I enough? And
That's your gold.
That specifically spoke to that. That's your gold. Yes. I'm emotional again.
Yeah. It's emotional. Sometimes it's emotional to realize the power we have and the effect we have just by being us in the world. And if I tell you that the world needs you to be authentically you, and it does require the kind of vulnerability that you're feeling right now, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I got a cool, I have a really cool callback in a couple of days, and it'll be for promo. And I wanted to know how you, alarm going off, I gotta leave the house soon. I want to know how you conclude a spot. For example, if at the end you have to brand the station, and that station brand has a certain sound or even a certain rhythm, how do you, for example, conclude an emotional arc that you may have done in the piece and get to that brand? Do you just simply shut off and go to the brand?
No.
Do you try and keep a flavor of the emotion of the spot in the branding but match the rhythm of the brand? That's a little piece of promo that I guess I don't have enough training on.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. There is so much in the promo world that is absolutely very technical. It can be very quick. It can have very specific ups and downs. And yes, with what you're talking about, like tomorrow on Today, only on NBC. Like they're definite things that they are being said a certain way that brand
Exactly.
it.
Right.
But there's also a way, even on a tag, like when you're introducing something, the difference between coming up next, coming up tomorrow, coming up soon, and this. Coming up next, coming up tomorrow, coming up soon. The first one, I was technically doing it. The second one, I know what the technical is, but I was actually really talking and communicating.
Right. There was almost a giggle and a thrill in the second one that could be perceived.
Absolutely, but I had no idea that that's what you heard. But once again, I was not thinking about how the sounds were coming out of my mouth. And if I was technically trying to produce a giggle, it would feel totally stale.
I could tell you went to a place, an emotional brain, a combination.
I was just really talking to somebody.
Right.
Yeah. That's great questions. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. That's the technique that I think is important. So I do believe I can get over that hump with that advice. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for your vulnerability.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Tom.
It's always lovely to have you up on stage, so thank you for joining us. I am going to bring everybody right now who has their hand raised up. I'm just going to ask you to stay muted until we ask you to unmute. We're going to start with Steve.
Boss lady says behave. Steven?
Steve, work your magic there. He knows what to do. Oh, look at that. You didn't have to leave and come back.
First time. Now
it's music.
Before, was it the concussion or did you say tomorrow on Today? I got confused for a second there.
Oh, I did. No, I did. Tomorrow. Tomorrow on Today is for the Today Show.
The Today Show.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. It's a little bit of it's kind of an inception moment, and I was having a little bit of a dumb. So it's just like, wait a minute.
Donovan was here at the very beginning of this, so that would have been fun. Donovan Cornitz was in the audience as we opened, but
nice.
He's probably
Steven Snyder is on the stage. Steven, do you have a question for Debra?
Absolutely, I do. I'm sorry I've got a cold. I've been fighting it for days, but Debra, it's so amazing to talk to you again. I've really missed you.
Steven, hi.
I haven't talked to you for 100,000 years, and I hope that you're doing really well. And I just want everybody to know how I've taken Debra's class. And thank you, Mike and Emma, for having me and hosting this. It's always amazing. I've taken Debra's class, and she's the most genuine, kind-hearted, results-oriented coach. And Tom Antonellis, too. I've worked with Tom Antonellis. Both of those individuals are absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend them enough. I don't care if it sounds like ass kissing. You guys are amazing, and it's so good to hear both of your voices back to back. That was incredible for me.
Thank you, Stephen.
Certainly. Deborah, I'm going to ask my quick question and then these guys can move on. But I would love, and this is kind of a go-to question for me, but it's still really important for me. Can you tell me some words of wisdom from any mentor from your past, VO or otherwise, that's really stuck with you over the years or even recently, that you'd be willing to share with us?
Oh, wow. I just got goosebumps. Yeah, one of them, okay, I have a few. Uh, an acting teacher in college used to say, if you're going to make love, make it. And that always stuck with me for everything in the world. And the definition of acting that Stephen Henderson would, I know is taken partially from Meisner, but that Stephen Henderson would tell us, which hit me really hard, which is acting is living truthfully and fully under imaginary circumstances with the intention of revealing or exposing something about the nature of being human. And the intention of revealing or exposing something about the nature of being human is just the most beautiful responsibility. And I feel that we all have that responsibility. And if this is our craft and our art, when we hit record, we have a chance to give that out and it ripples out into the world. It can change people's day. It can change people's world. And it doesn't matter if it's a Pampers commercial or it doesn't matter. When authenticity rings out into the world, it ripples and it affects people. And we need more authenticity in this world right now when people are hurting each other and killing each other. And we just have the power to make the world a better place, even just by what we do when we hit record.
Absolutely. If
Wow.
the people in the chat are asking for that quote again, could you give the name of the person from that quote just so they can look it up?
It's not, I mean, it's, well, I don't, this isn't Stephen Henderson's quote. He would say this, I don't know if the end is what he added on. So don't use it as a quote, but I will say it, or I can put it in the chat later. It's,
but you know what? They have the replay, so come on back for the replay and enjoy that because, wow.
Acting is living truthfully and fully under imaginary circumstances with the intention of revealing or exposing something about the nature of being human.
There you go. Beautiful.
And then don't forget, if you're going to make love, make it, which is also so important. If you're going to do it, then really do it and enjoy it. I say this all the time about people in careers. It's like if you have 10 scripts sitting next to you and you're going, oh God, I have 10 auditions. Oh, I hate this script. Oh God, I hope I get this job. Then stop doing this. Find a way to bring joy and gratitude into everything that you're doing. Because at the end of the day, my career is fantastic, but I still spend so much of my day auditioning. And if I didn't love the shit out of it, why would I be doing it?
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes it can be as simple as like a statement to yourself. I get to do this.
Yeah.
Right? I get to do this. There are other people who don't get to do this. So yeah, you got to work, you got to do auditions and everything like that's part of the job, but you get to do this, right? I love it.
Yeah, and
Stephen,
every audition,
thank you so much.
Every audition is a gift to give yourself and put authenticity and just put you out there into the world. Every audition, whether you get the job or not.
Deborah, I also studied under Barry White, so I feel you deeply on this one. And can I just say that I knew that this would be amazing if you guys, I'm going to plug your class, Deborah, if you guys haven't taken authenticity in voiceover. Deborah helped me in to massive degrees, and I just wholeheartedly support her teachings. So thank you guys so much for having me. Deborah, thank you for being here. It was so wonderful to connect with you again.
Thank you, Stephen. You too. It's really good to see you. I see your face in the little circle.
Thanks for being with us again, Stephen. We always appreciate your support for the Roundtable. Let's take a question from Danielle. Hey, Danielle.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, Danielle.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Awesome. Mildly concussed, but awesome. Sorry.
So I love promo. Got my promo done by J. Michael, and I fell in love during like the whole session, the direction, the whole process. I'm like, this is what I want to do. And I've done a lot of different genres. And I know you probably already mentioned it about what you did and being authentic, but being a woman in promo and I know there's a status quo in a certain way they kind of like it to some degree, but what do you think, when you book these networks that they said, oh, we like you, we want you, and this was just great, we love this about you. What do you think that was?
When I booked WeTV and Oxygen, the auditions, and they had tons of callbacks. The auditions, the funny thing about both of those jobs is the auditions, even back then, were, we want a real person. We want to feel like it's a real person. I feel like those were some of the first auditions I had where that's what they wanted. And that's exactly what I gave them. And then the callbacks started to happen, especially for WeTV, because they started to bring in like 5 people, and 5 people they kind of put on the air and bring into the studio to do different promos. And then the next day they'd bring in 4 people. And then the next day they'd bring in 3 people. But the crazy thing is that what got me to the point of the callbacks was the absolute, this is me, authentic read. I'm not pushing anything. And then I feel what got me the job was during all those callbacks, producers were there, and your producers are going to ask you for very specific things and very specific reads. And that's your job at that point, to give them exactly what they want, but also to be able to hold on to the absolute authenticity of, I'm really talking, this is really me, you're telling me the energy you want, but I'm not phoning it in. So I think that is really important. And if you don't mind, you're just helping me to think of one thing I really wanted to say that I talk about a lot. Your audition in anything, promo, commercial, anything, your audition is a job interview. Your audition is a job interview, and they are listening, and they will stop in their tracks when they hear you and you're being real. And when one human being is really communicating with another human being, it's fascinating and it's captivating. It just absolutely is. But then when you get to the booking and they're like, this is the person I want to work with, you could have 15 people in that booking, including the client who's paying the bill, telling you all of these things that they want you to do this way and then that way and this way and that way. And then it's your job to give them exactly that and hold on to the fact that what got you there is your authentic read, and never lose sight of as many directions as you're getting. You're going to give them technically exactly what they want, but at the same time, they're also going to get you, which is so important.
Oh yeah, that's powerful. I think that's what I was really trying to figure out, because you want to give them what they want, and you're like, okay, but I feel like I want to do this, but no, let me give them what they want. Sometimes I kind of have that battle sometimes. So yeah, so just sticking with being authentic
There
and
is
giving
not,
them what
and
they want to.
but there's also, I mean, are you talking in an audition or in a booking situation?
In a booking.
Yeah, there is absolutely not. I mean, I will say this all the time. I'll say, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to try something. It may suck, but I have this thought. So let me just go for it. And I'll just throw something out there, and it'll either suck or it'll be great or it'll be whatever. But always, if you have an impulse, you're the artist. Always, I don't believe there's ever anything wrong with saying, hey, or even if you want to say, hey, you just gave me a great idea with the direction that you just said, can I try something? And no one's ever going to say no, because when you're in your jam and you're in that place, that's where your creativity stems from. And that's what they love about working with artists.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you for the great question.
Yep.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle. Just, Mike, before we bring you off mute, we're just going to remind you guys, first of all, this is, if you just joined, this is the Voiceover Round Table. We meet every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. EST, and we talk about all things voiceover, and we have the pleasure tonight of speaking with Debra Sperling, who is a superstar voice actor who specializes in promo and commercial, and she does everything, but, this is what we're focusing on tonight. And it's just a reminder to follow each other. This is, we're about building community. So it's about, follow us, the speakers, follow each other. If you're not a member of the Voiceover Round Table, if you're looking at your screen, you'll see a little greenhouse. Click on that, and that will bring you to a page that will connect you to this. So you'll always get your reminders of what we're doing. We're taking a break over the holidays, and we're back January 10th. It's going to be a round table, which is that there's going to be a few of us, Mike and myself, and a few other people, talking about goal setting for the year. But for tonight, we are talking to Debra Sperling. And Mike, if you want to unmute yourself, Mike, Chris, that would be
I am unmuted.
fantastic.
Hey, Mike.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the round table. Thanks for being with us. Do you have a question for Debra?
I do. I've been signing on hold. I was thinking of a few questions. But I wanted to ask about your coaching and the people you coach. And what have you seen over your time in coaching that people are doing, I guess, semi-consistently that holds them back? Maybe it's something unconscious they're doing, or something that is hard, maybe a concept that's hard for people to grasp, that actually, kind of keeps them from gaining that success.
They stop believing how beautiful and powerful they are simply by being themselves.
They tend to perform more than just be themselves.
I feel that there's a, Sorry, I get, it makes me very, that part makes me so sad, which is part of the reason I love teaching and coaching, because when somebody realizes their power that they have being themselves and making choices and allowing themselves to come out, how freeing and beautiful that is, more than I'm going to act the words in a certain way. I mean, if you really think about it, if that's what 100 people are doing who are auditioning for a job, and they're just focusing on what words have an arrow that go up and what words have lines that make sure you stress a certain word, and then it's who's going to act all those things better, instead of, okay, you know what? I'm just really here, and this is me, and I'm just really communicating and making a choice that's something that's actually important to me, speaking to someone that I really have a connection with. And then all of a sudden you start to come out. So, but all of that for me, in so many ways, besides maybe being caught in that circle and that wheel of, how do I do this right? How do I do this right? How do I do this right? Instead of, how do I have fun? How do I free myself? How do I get to a place where I just want to give the gift of me and see what happens? So, yeah, I'm not sure if that answered your question.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of times that maybe there's something you don't realize you're doing, and that's why it's important to coach with somebody, or at least have somebody outside of you listen to what you're doing and go, hey, look, you're being Mr. Announcer Boy here, so you need to, calm down and be yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very funny thing. I'll be talking to someone, and then they'll hear, if we're coaching, and they'll laugh about something, and then we'll say, okay, so hit record, and then go, and all of a sudden they hit record, and then this voice comes on.
Right.
Instead of, okay, we're coaching, I'm going to hit record, and now here I am, and nothing has changed because I'm comfortable just being me. It's that I'm going to hit record and do my voiceover voice. And you don't even realize you're doing it.
Right. Somebody I coach with calls it the burden of the words, where it's you're not just talking, you're looking at the words like, how do the words go? What am I supposed to do here? Is this
I like
that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Like I say, it's none of your business how the words are coming out of your mouth. If that's what you're focusing on, how could you possibly be feeling free to communicate?
Exactly. Great. Thank you, Debra.
Thank you for the great question.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
But it's just it's so very true. It's like I've got some stuff going on in my life right now that's a little bit not fun. And the day that I got the news, it was like, really busy with auditions, and kind of in the middle of the day I got the news. I was like, okay. And one of the CDs that I was auditioning for emailed me immediately and said, "What's going on? That was a really good fake." She's like, "If I didn't know you, I would put this through, but there's something going on because I can hear it."
I love that.
Yeah. She's like, "That was a really good fake." And I was like,
Oh, I love that.
man.
Yeah, that's great. And we all get really good at that thing. And for those of you that, I'm just going to say this, for those of you that think that the fake stutter thing that so many people do when people want the authentic read, if you think, people think that, no, you don't actually talk like that. You don't actually talk like that. And as far as I'm concerned, you cannot fake it. It literally just makes you sound ridiculous. And you think, oh, I'm like reaching for the word. And I would say, don't do that. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Edit it out. I love it. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Hi, Victor Singleton. Sorry, I just saw Victor on there. I haven't seen him in forever, and I just saw him.
Oh, Victor, put up your hand. Come on up. We're going to go to another question, Debra. We're going to take a question from, I have to say, my friend and fellow bilingual voice actor, Catherine, based in Montreal. Catherine, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Debra. Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, too.
And good evening, Mike and Emma.
Thank
you so much for this wonderful... I'm smiling the whole time, by the way. I'm listening.
I can hear it in your voice.
Everything is amazing. Debra, a quick question for you. I just wanted to know, based on your experience, do you think, or have you seen any differences in the style or the requests that you're getting if you are voicing for, let's say, an American network versus a Canadian network? Is there a difference? Is there,
I wish I could answer that, but I don't get any auditions for anything Canadian, so I wouldn't know, because my agents are all based here in the States, and the networks I audition for are basically like the cable networks in ABC, NBC, and CBS. So I wouldn't even know any networks in Canada.
Oh, I see.
So I wish I had I would love to audition for networks in Canada, but they're not asking for me.
I'm going to say, maybe Emma might know, but I wonder if promo is not something that crosses borders as well as commercial does.
When I was teaching, when I taught I taught over Zoom for a university in England. And we were doing voiceovers. So different. And the promo thing, they didn't understand when we went over it. And also, we did pharma reads, which I do a lot of pharma stuff. And that's something that they had no idea about, because I guess they don't do, we used to never do that here in the States, but everybody knows if you watch daytime TV or nighttime TV, or any TV, I guess at this point, every third or second ad is all about, and in rare cases, death. I have one spot running where I have to literally say death 3 times in the spot. So, so they didn't know what promos were and didn't understand it when I tried to explain it, and they didn't know what pharma stuff was. So do you not have promos just to talk about what the shows are? You have PBS in Canada, yes?
No, we do have promo. Just promo between the United States and Canada is very, very different. In the same way that commercial and between the United States and Canada is very, very different. So promo here is still in kind of the old school, like coming soon on CBS,
Gotcha.
Except that wouldn't be a Canadian network on CBC. But it's still very dramatic.
Yeah,
it's much more dramatic. Even in and it's the same with commercial. That I know a commercial read for the U.S. will not fly for a Canadian company, for a Canadian agency. It has to be a bit more fake.
Gotcha.
A little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Careful, Emma. There's replays.
I know.
Emma, I would still like to believe that even in the fake quote unquote style that you're saying, when you put real Emma behind that, you're going to be the one that gets the job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
yeah, hands down.
Deborah, to Catherine's question, maybe to kind of turn it on its side, like, okay, so maybe promo doesn't cross the borders as well as some other genres do or as easily, but maybe over the past, 5 years, 10 years, what big trend changes have you seen within promo, the work that you're doing?
Yeah. A lot of all of this coming up next. I mean, even being able to take that coming up next and make it, oh my gosh, because sometimes this is my actual real energy in real life. So to be able to take that and make that real, but now it's a little more muted with coming up next. And it's a little more, I'm just really here hanging with you, and it's okay to spend some time together. That is the way everything is going. I don't see it. I mean, I don't know. Who actually knows? I don't feel like that is going to leave soon. But honestly, it's why I tell people it's okay to ask questions when you coach with people or study with people. I believe everyone should be studying with casting directors because for two reasons. One, they have their pulse on who wants what and who's getting hired and what's actually happening. And two, guys, you take a class with a casting director and you do scripts and you do all these things. And then the next day they're at work and a breakdown comes across their desk that's perfect for you. You're the first thing in their mind and they just reach out to you. And it's amazing. So you can learn so much and you get in their presence, which is an incredible thing to do. So study with casting directors, study with people in the industry. I do believe everybody has something to teach and something to give you for your voiceover toolbox. You have the right to ask questions. You have the right to ask someone who is a voiceover artist and teaching. You have the right to say, hey, when was the last time you worked in the business? Not as an insult, not as anything. It's just, hey, I'm just curious, when was if someone says 25 years ago and that's their reference of how they were booking things 25 years ago, I can tell you what I was doing 25 years ago would never get me a job right now. So everybody does have something to give, but I do believe it's okay to ask questions and it's okay to ask for references and call people, and it's your money. And unfortunately right now through the pandemic, a lot of people, and there are a lot of amazing coaches out there, amazing, incredible. I'm not calling anybody
Don't worry,
out.
This topic has come up many times. Don't worry,
go ahead.
There are
just people out there that have just started taking my class and 2 months later they're coaching somebody. And it is unfortunately that is what's happening. So please ask questions. Please get references. You are giving your hard-earned money into something that you care so much about. And it's not even just the money. It's your career. And if you start to pick up these really, I don't want to say bad habits, but bad habits, they could lose you jobs and they could get you in the mindset of just repeating those bad habits over and over and over again because you didn't know what you didn't know.
Yeah.
So it's okay to ask questions.
Yeah, you bring up a really important point. And again, that asterisk of especially since pandemic, people will take your money.
They will.
People are out there. They will take your money. So be mindful.
Victor just wrote, I'm sorry, Victor, I don't know why. I just haven't seen you in so long. You just wrote, interview them first. Actually, that's so funny because I think Victor called me and interviewed me like a million years ago before he took my class.
Interview them first. We got a little bit sidetracked from your question, Catherine, but I appreciate it.
And And thank you,
Catherine,
Mike.
you
It's actually you took it into a tangent, which was really interesting and got some.
Well, that's all Debra. It's
even
not
more
on me.
interesting.
That's all Debra.
Well, I know. Catherine. I'm sorry about the tangent. I get a little passionate sometimes.
It's fantastic, and I appreciate you talking about getting training with the CD, because that's something I never would have considered. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so important.
It is
so
really good.
important and so great. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Merci,
much.
Catherine.
Merci, Mike.
beaucoup. Dave is up on stage. Welcome back to the round table, Dave.
How you doing?
My microphone is working now, Dave.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? We can hear you. You're all good.
Okay, cool. So my question is a little different than everybody else's, because promo's on my radar, and when speaking to different people about it, it takes a real commitment, though, when you get booked into being a promo, the voice for a show or a network, or
Yeah.
So can you talk to that a little bit about what that kind of commitment, because I think that's key in this, because I think you have to make yourself available 24/7 in some cases, right?
Yeah, and if you get the job of a voice of a network, then you make yourself available. It is huge, especially, I mean, some of my friends are the voice of the news for like ABC or NBC, and that is even more so because it changes constantly. They're basically on call 24/7 for real, 24/7 for promos. I've had my home studio for about 9-10 years. And I have the mic I have because it's the mic from WeTV. And I would go in every day when, this is obviously way before the pandemic, I would go into the city and I would go to WeTV or go to Oxygen. When I was doing Oxygen, I would spend an hour there with producers just handing me scripts, all different kinds of scripts. And then I would get home, and maybe at 5:00, I would get something sent to me. We need this tag, this changed. And I have my Neumann mic because I wanted to have the same exact mic that they had at the studio, so that when I sent in everything that I did, it matched almost as perfectly as I could possibly get it. But when I was doing WeTV or Oxygen, I was there every day for like an hour to an hour and a half. Depends upon the gig. For PBS, it's at least once a week, but sometimes there are changes and stuff with the lineup, or they will change what they're doing to picture or cut something, and they'll need me to, or someone says, we hated that line that they wrote, so we want to change it to this, and I'll have to do pickups for that. When I do stuff for NBC, especially back in the day, it was just going in, working with just a producer I know and nailing it. And then I was out in 5 minutes, and that was it. But the voice of a network, yeah. And the voice of a network that does news, I don't know how you ever go on vacation or sleep. But you get well compensated for that. And I would be really grateful for it. But no, it's definitely so much more time intensive than commercial work is, where you could work for 20 minutes and it could run for 3 years and you could buy a vacation house.
Right.
This is no residuals, and you're going every day. And I have to tell you, I've never been more happy than when I was the voice of a network. It's just the creativity and the diversity varying from spot to spot to spot, from thing to thing to thing, to tags, to channels, to bumpers, everything that you have to do. It's just, there's such a variety. It was just so much fun.
Very cool. Thank you. So one more quick question. So you have to be the authentic voice. So what if you don't like the program that you're going to promote?
Oh, no.
I guess the real acting comes in then, right?
Yeah, this is me saying it has nothing to do with the words. Yeah, if you make a connection about who you're talking to and what you're using those words to do, then it never really matters what the words are, as far as what I believe. But
yeah, you don't need to like the show. They need to like the show.
Yeah.
Coming up, we're going to slaughter little fluffy white kittens. So.
Oh,
I'm just making a bad joke. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thanks for hanging out, Dave. Always love having you. Appreciate it. Oh, how does a busy promo voice actor take a vacation, Deborah? We were kind of talking about this earlier, but
yeah.
Is there only like a narrow window? Is it like school teachers and stuff like that, where it's like
I've never taken a vacation without. I mean, it's. I don't want to say it's horrible, but I also love to work. So I love to work and I love my work. But even when I went on my honeymoon, I remember calling clients and just. I know. It took 2 seconds. It's just, but listen, I have photos. I have photos of me in a bathroom in Cancun. I take my equipment everywhere with me. I have photos of me in a bathroom in Cancun. There's a conga line going out by the pool. One vacation I took, and it was a promo job, and they needed it immediately, whatever the script was that they sent me, and I'm in the bathroom with a comforter over my head with this huge smile on my face doing a booking. It was like doing a booking for, it was probably USA, doing a booking for USA Network while I'm in the middle of vacation and just like grateful. I mean, how could you not? How could you? Listen, the reason I'm able to take the vacations I take is because of the work that I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had for 27 years, I've never had another job other than voiceovers. Ever.
Yeah. And
my husband was able to be a stay-at-home dad for 7 years while I completely supported us doing voiceovers. So
love it.
I'm so grateful.
You know, that's what they say. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Like I'm packing to go to LA tomorrow, and that's the first thing I pack is my travel rig. And everyone's like, "You're bringing your rig?" I'm like, "Of course I'm bringing my rig.
Of course you are."
On vacation, like I love my job. Love it. It doesn't. For me, it's not a hindrance. It's not an oh crap. Now I have to record something. How horrible.
And Emma, of course, that comes across on the mic, which is why you work all the time.
Yeah.
No, I was joking with somebody online about this earlier, but Deborah, does this happen to you where you kind of let people know that you might be away and then all the work comes flooding in?
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of day for a week.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. And I'm leaving in 2 days, and it happened today twice. So
there it is. Yeah. You want extra work, people? Tell people you're going on vacation. All the work comes.
Oh, yes,
at least
absolutely.
You hope it do.
Victor, Victor, it's the TLM 103, and Greg, thank you for telling him that. Sorry, he just asked which Neumann.
Hey, Gregory, what's up? Lisa is up on stage. Lisa, welcome back to the round table. Thanks for hanging out with us once again.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to be here. I still feel like I'm such the newbie. I'm working my way and trying to get through it. There's so much noise in this industry that I'm just trying to find my way. I've taken quite a bit of acting lessons. I come from a business background, but I'm still struggling to kind of know where I should be going to start. I fell into the Fiverr world for a bit, and it's just not my thing. And I'm just trying to find, like, I know there's voices.com and Voice 123. I just wonder if you have any other advice of what you tell people that are starting and trying to find their way in the industry, I guess.
I don't tell people anything because that is absolutely not my forte or expertise. I can talk about craft. The business aspect of it in terms of just starting out. I've been fortunate enough to start when it was just coming right out of graduate school. The world has completely changed right now. So there are so many different avenues, and I know there are so many people out there, and I mean, Emma and Mike can probably, or other people on here can probably speak to, who are wonderful coaches in terms of the business aspect of it for somebody just starting out. But I wouldn't even begin to give you advice when I'm probably not the right person to give you that advice.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand.
Lisa, shoot me an email and I'll send you a couple of people that I would recommend for business coaching.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. I just like being here and listening and learning. So
Yeah, no, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry that I could make up an answer, but I wouldn't do that.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks.
We love having you, Lisa. We appreciate you supporting the Voiceover Roundtable. And that's, Deborah, that's what we try and do here, is really to bring a variety. And really, like, Emma has gone above and beyond and way past the crazy with bringing on awesome guests like you.
We're booked to March.
I told her, you can go on vacation now. It's okay. We're booked till March.
Because I'm a crazy person, decided the day I'm leaving for LA, I'm going to send the email out to the next people going, so do you want to come play on Clubhouse? What dates do you have available?
But it's great to have this variety and to dive into the different genres, because to speak to what we were talking about earlier, there is so much within our industry that one can do. And, you know, if promo is something you're going after, great. That's something. Maybe you don't care about promo at all and you're like, I'm all about animation and video games. We're going to try and serve that up to you too here on the Voiceover Roundtable. And that's what it's all about, is trying to give you people what you want to hear about and get the questions. And we do some workout formats and different things like that. So, but this is an exciting conversation tonight, I think, because we don't get to talk about promo very much. So we love hearing your insight, Deborah. We really appreciate it. I think we have time probably for one last question from Carlos. Tim, we tend to run somewhere in between the hour and a half mark, and so we appreciate you hanging around, Deborah.
Oh my gosh! Well, you don't want me to tell you this, but I could stay on here for 3, 4, 5 hours. So,
well.
I would, but I have a flight to catch.
Maybe that'll be the 2023 session. And tonight, the long edition with Debra Sperling. Overnight with Debra Sperling. Late night with Debra Sperling. Tomorrow on Today and the day after.
Oh, that was good.
Oh man, we're having fun. Carlos, welcome to the stage. Welcome to the roundtable. I appreciate you coming. We know I've seen you before. We've had you here, and it's great to have you again.
Hi,
What's
Carlos.
going on?
No, it's a pleasure for me to be here. And Deborah, it's a pleasure for me to meet you. Emma, good evening.
Hello.
Mike, something that I would say in this, I'm glad that I'm the last one, because this is not a question. This is actually something that I noted, and there is this wonderful quality about Deborah. If there is something that we need to take home, is that sense of wonder. She gives an answer. She tells you what to do and not to do in this very candid, and every intervention that she has had comes from the heart. And I would say that is key to this industry. When we say about being authentic, authenticity comes from there. It doesn't come from the brain, the over-processed configuration of who we think we are. But when we hear Deborah talk and express herself and everything it is, and about her work, oh my God, this work is fantastic. And we can hear it. We can sense it. And that is the key, I would say, not only for survival, but for success in this crazy industry. And yes, there's struggles, and yes, how do I get in touch with this, and how do I change, and etc., and coaching and all of those things. But the sense of wonder that you walk in every day into your booth and all of a sudden face your scripts and everything, which is that, oh my God, spark that Deborah, for example, that is the highlight of who she is what I think should be the driving force for everything. And thank you, Deborah, because it is so nice to see that they're, overwhelmingly bright and sparkly people in the world like yourself.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Carlos. I took that all in. Thank you.
And that's it. I mean, come on, Emma, Mike.
I couldn't find my mute button.
Carlos, thank you so much for that. it puts a nice cherry on the sundae of a wonderful evening that we've had with you, Debra. One of the things, and Emma and I talk about this, and I think if you're a regular listener here on the Voiceover Round Table, one thing that we discourage, I don't know if I want to say discourage, but one thing that doesn't really happen much here is people don't sell from the stage. We kind of, we're like, we have a mellow conversation, we take questions, we do workouts, and there's never really a push on anything. But if we're going to be authentic, I'm taking this one here, and I'm not selling from the stage, but just based on the conversations that we've had, I think it's important to offer the opportunity that anybody who is here tonight and is curious about potentially working with you, Debra, they can visit your website. It's debrasperling.com, and just click on the coaching tab, have a look there. And, if it's for you, it's for you, and you will find your way to it. And I don't think I need to say much more than that.
Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. Well, we appreciate you giving of your time and giving of your authentic self.
Thank you. Can I do an authentic plug for something that has nothing to do with this?
Sure.
Follow me on Instagram, because my daughter doesn't think that I can get more followers.
I love it.
It's Debra Sperling VO, and if you follow me, I'll be really grateful for just the authentic reason that my daughter.
Are you having a follow challenge here? It's like awesome. It's very. I love her dearly, but we can get into it. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. I love that. That is fantastic. And that is authenticity in the making right there.
Sorry to use your platform for something so petty.
Not at all.
I mean, I do put my VO stuff up on it. But yeah, so it's not.
We actually say it every single week. We say it probably twice. Don't forget, follow the Voiceover Round Table. Follow each other. Follow us. Follow you. We'll follow you back. It's called social media for a reason, folks. And that's, you got to, use the tools that you love and make them work for you. And I think that's what it's all about, right?
Yep.
When it comes to
I
would
like to take a minute to thank all of you, and Mike and Emma. Thank you so much for having me here tonight, and everybody that was here, and the questions, and just giving me an opportunity in this platform to talk. I'm so grateful to be here and to listen to you. And I hope that something I said tonight was touching or helped someone in some way. I know that I'm completely filled up. So I just can't thank you enough.
No, Debra, there were so many things that you said that you shared this evening. The chat was on fire with people quoting you. And just the things that you were sharing. And it's just, people were really, really excited about this. Since we rekindled the VO Roundtable, there's just been a lot of excitement around what we're doing. And for whatever reason, people keep saying yes. When I ask them to be a guest, they keep saying it. I'm not like, hi, my name is Emma.
Little old us.
Play. And people want to come and play. And so when we announced that you were going to be a guest on this, people were they were over the moon, bouncing around like, oh my God, I love Debra. She's amazing. This is so great. So it's so wonderful to see it all kind of just come together, and that all of this, what we're doing, the whole point of the VO Roundtable is to build community and to give back, because we've all been helped at some point in our career by someone who's, in a place that we're aspiring to get to. Everyone is always reaching out at this, the voiceover world is so inclusive and so helpful, and you are an example of that. It's that you have this incredible career, long-standing career, very successful, and what makes you shine is by paying it forward.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
I love it. And Emma, you just gave me an idea for a show that's going to bump your schedule out out a week.
Oh, Lord.
We are going to find a way. And I'm just going to say it, because this is going to be easy peasy. And when you hear what I say, I think it's going to be, we're going to do a gratitude show at some point.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to do a
Absolutely.
gratitude show, and we're going to want to hear your gratitude stories. Somebody who made a difference in your voiceover journey.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
Emma
I just
and I
got
are going to have our
goosebumps.
chat. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yep.
I think that we'll get that on the grid. But that being said, this has been an amazing. Last evening of 2022 Voiceover Roundtable for us. We're going to go on hiatus for a few weeks. If you are, being with family or traveling during the holidays, whatever it is that you have planned in the coming weeks through this holiday season, we wish you all the very, very best. Be safe. Be with the ones you love. Be your authentic self with the ones you love. If you're going to make love, make it. Right, Debra? And if you're going to make cookies, make enough to leave some out on the 24th. So, I don't know where that came from. But I want to thank everyone who came up and asked questions, everyone who's been in the room all night tonight, and for all of our previous sessions up until now. We'll see you all in the new year. Thanks again, Debra Sperling, for being with us tonight. Thanks to my lovely co-host, Emma. Safe travels to everyone traveling, and we will see you and we will hear you next time on the Voiceover Roundtable. And that's it. And why don't we sign off with a little of this vibes here like this.